Athletes, have you ever felt ghosted by coaches? As in, during the season, they're all team you, in your face, ready to go, but then once that final game is over, you hear nothing? What about former athletes? Looking back, have you put in work, won games, volunteered, but then when you reach out for a question or a favor, you hear crickets? Look, I'm not trying to bash coaches or focus on the negative. I learned early how to sidestep certain coaches' behaviors, or lack thereof, to get what I needed sooner. So for athletes, what do I mean by ghosting? Well, I've seen a few coaches that don't really go above and beyond a few times in my career. The first thing I can think about is that they're only focused on wins, meaning they're not concerned with your personal or professional development once you leave the court or the playing field. I've also seen coaches who are very political. Many of you know what this means, and this could essentially lessen your playing time or opportunity for exposure if you're looking to get recruited at the collegiate level. I've also seen coaches that are only focused on keeping you at a basic level. They're not going to push you to go above and beyond or past your potential, which can be really damaging in the long term. For coaches that aren't involved during the off season, this is amazing. You essentially have the green light to do whatever you want. And by that, I mean building your resume or your personal portfolio to shine for college recruiters or for any school that you're interested. Join a club, participate in student activities, find a part-time job, or work on the areas of your game that you consider weaknesses that you weren't able to focus on during the season. Another piece of advice, if your coach is heavily swept up in politics, that is a habit that is very hard, if not impossible, to change. My suggestion, look elsewhere. There is no amount of hard work that you can do on or off the court, extra time in the gym, extra time in the weight room that will change their mentality. If coach is political, they're political. Instead, find another program that will provide you with adequate playing time, fair treatment, and equal opportunity for all of the athletes on your program. Finally, if you are part of a program where a coach is only going to keep you at a basic level, meaning they're only going to make sure your GPA is standard, that you're just putting in the minimum requirements to be eligible for the playing season, this is not a good thing. I've seen personally coaches who will only worry about keeping their players eligible at the collegiate level to win games, and there is a very low graduation rate, which is really horrible and detrimental to every student athlete's future. Instead of accepting this behavior, go above and beyond. Don't wait for coach to change or wait for your situation to get better. Do your part. Go to study hall. Put in extra time with a tutor. Find ways to elevate your GPA if you're focusing on grades, and look at ways that you can excel after graduation. Look at internship opportunities. Start job hunting. Don't wait for a coach to change, because if they only see you for what they need you, then you're in a lot of trouble for when it's time for you to depart from that program. So I'm in a great position right now where I'm able to help athletes outside of sports with many challenges and obstacles that come with just living life. And when I reach out to select coaches, many of whom were great athletes back in their day, who are pretty decent coaches now, and actually a few that I've even helped with resume prep, referrals, things of that nature, you guessed it, when I reach out, crickets. It's so frustrating to know that there's student athletes out there with possible challenges and obstacles that I would love to connect with, love to help and provide them with opportunities and ways to pivot instead of having to push through the hard way like I learned back in my day. It would be so much easier with a coach that had that buy-in, that saw the value of helping them outside of the playing field, but unfortunately, that's not the reality that I'm living in. Instead, I'm finding coaches that I can partner with, that we can help each other. And more importantly, we're helping the student athletes that are coming up now and helping them thrive off of the court, on the court. And that is what it means to really work as a team. So that's what I'm doing. Instead of waiting and hoping that coaches will change, as a former athlete, I've learned my lesson, and I know firsthand that there are some great coaches out there. I am partnering with coaches that are willing to provide me with students to talk to. I'm able to get those students some great advice, both at the high school and collegiate level. And my hope is that that base will grow, and hopefully other coaches won't let their players not benefit by doing the bare minimum.